All righty. Welcome, builders. My name is George Hambel, working product over at Buildable. Welcome to this week's office hours, Thursday, May 18th. We got Madeline and James on the call today. Today we're not gonna go through too much, but we're really gonna hone in on reports and dashboards. So over the past week or two, Justin's been walking you guys through various app features within Buildable in regards to building the app, building tables, adding fields, importing some of the data in there. And he's really been doing a lot of that through our employee repository app. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my screen up here. All right. So this is the app that Justin's been working on with you guys. Right now, we've got our simple dashboard here that every Buildable app comes pre-built in with, right? So all this is really is a brief overview of getting started in Buildable, right? Some basic documentation of creating tables, adding fields, relating those tables and fields, all the way down to what we're going to be going over today, editing dashboards with some clickable links to our documentation, right? But like I said, every single app comes standard with this just purely text dashboard. So what we're going to do today, using this employee repository app that Justin's been building with you guys, is we're going to be building out 3 simple reports. We're going to be building a pie chart that's going to show us our number of employees by the role that they're in. We've got a bar chart that's going to show you a number of employees hired year over year. So we're going to group that bar by year. And then we're just going to build a simple employee contact list. Now, this isn't a CRM, right? This is more of an internal management of employees, but we're going to kind of get a CRM feel to it with the employee contact list there. So just a quick review. We've got our interactions table. Right now, we've got one singular record here linked to that employee. We've got our compensation records table, right, linked to our employee list as well. And then we've got our employees table that has all of our employee data here, right? Employee name, date of birth, role, so on and so forth. So this is really what we're going to hone in on today, using this employee data and transform it into, like I said, 3 different reports and charts that we're gonna replace our text dashboard with. So to get there to start, we're going to go down under the views section here. We're going to click on reports. And right now you can see that we have no reports in our app for the employee repository. Now I'm going to start off just talking a little bit about this layout here. We've got our search report. You have a higher number of reports in here. You're able to search by keyword, report table. This dropdown is going to give you the ability to go ahead and filter out a specific table, right, that report would derive from. So say I had a list of 50 reports here, right? I had a super long list, and I wanted to drill it down to just show me my employee table reports. I would be able to do so via that dropdown. Report type, right? These are different types of charts and reports here. This allows you to quickly filter out which report type you want to view. Like I said, if you have a long list of 50 plus reports in here, you would be able to say, all right, I only want to see the bar charts or the pie, the line, so on and so forth, right? Now the report group right here, this right now is based off of our tags, right? I went ahead and created an employee repository tag before this call. You can add as many custom tags as you want to, and it's just kind of a little bit of an organizational tool for you to go ahead and group reports, right? So that filter would work just like that, to be able to sort out and display only reports based on the tag that you want. So start here, like I said, I'm gonna go click new report. I'm going to be met with my list of options. I've got my different report types. I've got that table report, the bar chart, pie chart, line chart, and a funnel chart. We will be expanding and adding different various report types in Buildable here, but right now we've just got these 4 main charts and this one main table report, which is going to be very similar to your table display, right, on your table home here. But by building them over in the report center, we're going to be able to then get them on the dashboards of your apps that you have built. So like I said, we're going to start out with number of employees by role, and that's going to be a pie chart. So I'm going to go ahead and click new report here. I'm going to go ahead and select pie chart. Now, right now you're brought to this report builder or chart builder page. We've got a report preview to the right. all this is right now is just a brief overview of showing you what that pie chart styling is going to look like. Right now, it's not going to update live as you start to build your pie chart, but as we go on here, we keep adding new features to various aspects of Buildable. Down the road, you're going to see this report preview updating live as you're building the report. That way, you don't have to wait till you save the changes like we will today, but you won't have to wait to click save changes to see the report that you're working on as you build it. So let's start off here to the left. We're going to start filling out our report details. So I'm going to give this report a name. Like I said, we're looking at number of employees by role. All right, there's going to be a pie chart. We've already selected that. I'm going to tag it with my employee repository tag, right, that I said I've created earlier. I'm going to give it a quick description, showcase the number of employees in each role, right? And that could be a role at your company, at your nonprofit, whatever it may be. So I'm going to scroll down here now, pie chart series. Now, this is telling us what do we want to group our pie by, right? Our series are each of our individual pieces of the pie here. So if we see item A, item B, item C, item D, right? That's what this pie chart series is going to be all about. So I'm going to start by clicking what table. Like I said, we're looking at number of employees in each role. So we're going to select our employees table here. Data to display. Now, this is not the data per se, the number, right? The 300, I'm pointing at the screen like you guys can see my finger on the screen here. We're not looking at the 300 here. We're more so looking at what is item B going to tell us, right? So what we want to do is we want to select our role there, right? That's going to allow us to see that pie chart grouped by the role. Now, for the grouping down here, when I select this, right, I have equal values. The data to display field, that role field type is a single select. So all I'm going to be able to do is select equal values. On some various field types, you will be able to see, like when we dive into our hire date by year pie or bar chart, sorry, we're going to have different types of grouping, right? On the date, you're going to see week, month, year, so on and so forth. And then text-based fields, you're also going to see some different options there. But since that's a single select field, it derives from stored values in that field, nothing else. All we're going to be able to do is group by the equal values that field gives us the options to select. So from there, we're going to enter our display name in here. We'll just call this employee role. That way, when we're viewing the pie chart, we can see what that pie chart is representing to the user. And then lastly, pie chart data. This is going to be that numeric value that's going to display and show us, okay, for each slice of the pie, what's my value in correlation to every other grouping, in this case, the employee role. So I'm going to add my series here. Now you're going to notice uses color from single select. Because our single select fields give you the option to select the color, it's going to pull from that, and our slices of the pie, the colors are going to pull from those stored field values. We're not going to be able to select a pie color here. Now, I'm going to start by selecting data to display. I just want the number of records because, like I said, all we're showing here is what are my employee roles and how many employees do I have in each role. Series name label here, I'm just going to do number of records just like it is below. It's pretty self-explanatory. It shows me how many people are in that specific role. I'm going to go ahead and add that series. And then from here, I'm done with the setup. I'm going to go ahead and click Save Changes. Now, we're going to see that report come into my reports list here. I'm going to go ahead and click this View button. We're going to do a quick review of our pie chart, right? We've got admin, developer, and executive, right? So if we come over to our employees table here, we are able to see that we've got developer, admin, and executive. So we can confirm that that is correct. And then we can hover over, we can see our different values here, right? So this pie chart is telling me I have 18 admin. If I come over here, I've got 18 admin, right? So I know that pie chart's correct. It's pulling from that table as it should. So we've got our pie chart created. Let's move on to our bar chart. I'm gonna go ahead and click a new report. Once again, select my report type. I want a bar chart in this instance. Now, we said we are gonna do hire date by year. All right, so once again, pulling from the employees table, I'm gonna give this a name, hire date by year. Once again, bar chart type is selected. Report tags, I'm going to once again add my employee repository tag here. And then this is going to be employee, or rather, let's do count of employees hired by year. Weird capitalization there. All right, horizontal axis, right? This is our bottom, right? So right now, like I said, we've on the pie chart, we've got that report preview. We've got a sample to do, in progress, done, test, number of signed tasks. This is just a quick preview to show you what that bar chart styling looks like. But our horizontal axis, this is what we're worried about in these selections. What table? We're pulling from that employees table. Data to display, right? This time we're going to pull from date hired. Now it's a date field. So like I talked about when we were building that pie chart earlier, that grouping is no longer equal values. We get the options, because it's a date field, we get the options of day, month, year, and quarter. Because we're looking at number of employees hired by year, we're going to go ahead and select year. And then we're just going to type in hire year for the display name. Once again, vertical axis series, right? We're looking at the pillars now, the numeric values of each and every one of my groupings. So I'm going to go ahead and add a series here. Now here we have the ability to select a custom color. I'm just going to leave it as it is for now. Number of records, right? And just like we did for the pie chart, I'm going to type that same label in there. Keep it simple. I'm going to add that series. And what that's going to do is it's going to group it by the year. So my bar chart is going to get grouped by the year of the date hired. That's my data I'm displaying, right? And all it's going to do is display the number of records in each one. So if I had 50 employee records, it's going to split those up amongst those bar chart pillars by what year my employees were hired in. So quick check, make sure I've got everything filled out. I'm going to go ahead and save changes. And now I've got my hire date by year. I'm going to go ahead and view that chart. And now I can see, all right, starting from all the way back to 2019, all right, I've got 6 employees, 7, 8, 13, and then back down to 5 in 2023, 10, and then 1 in 2025. So I've got my year grouping at the bottom, all right, my horizontal, and then my vertical, I've got the number of employees there. So we now have 2 different chart types created. We're going to dive now into one last report, and that's going to be a table report. So like I said in the start of this here, I'm going to build a basic employee contact list. That way, if I'm just trying to dive into my app real quick, I don't want to have to navigate all the way to my employees table to get contact information. I can just go right to that dashboard and find that. So we go ahead and click New Report, Table Report up top. Right, so this report builder is going to look a little bit different because we are not building a chart, we are building a table. We are going to get a live preview of our table down below as we build it here. So we're going to start out saying employee contact list and just basic contact details for my employees. My report tags, I'm going to align that to my employee repository tag, just like I have been with all my other reports, right? I'm keeping it simple today. My table source, once again, selecting those employees. And you'll notice that bottom is shifted a little bit. I've got rows here, but I don't have column headers yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to manage columns. And right now it's pulling a row grouping in because that's what I have saved over here, but we're going to override that later. But manage columns. Like I said, we're just looking at basic contact here. So I'm going to select my employee name. It's going to come into view here. Cell phone, email, and why don't we add home address in there as well, right? So we've got 4 basic contact details just about my employee here. I'm going to scroll down, just do a quick view. And we're going to go ahead and save our changes there. And then just like we did for pie and bar, we can go ahead and preview that. I'll hit view and awesome. We've got 50 records showing here. We've got employee name, the address, cell phone, and the email, those 4 that we selected in the table report builder. So we've got our 3 reports created, right? The next step, like I said, is we want to change this dashboard from this text welcome dashboard over to using these 3 reports. So I've got my dashboards tab up here. I'm just going to click right onto there. You can also navigate down here in the views. I'm going to click New Dashboard. And I'm going to enter a dashboard name. I'm just going to call this my home page, all right, to keep it simple. And dashboard description, basic dashboard for employee repository. Okay, now you can see it starts off with page 0, right? We have a default page. We can add as many pages as we want. Keep it simple today. We're going to have 1 page. We've only got 3 reports. We don't need any more than that. So I'm going to come in here and just say employee details. Let's name it that for now. So I've got my page, got it under my dashboard. Haven't saved anything yet. Up top here in the left, we have components, right? These are the different blocks, right? We want to call them that we can put on our dashboard. So let's just do a quick header block. We're going to click it. We're going to drag it over. I'm going to expand that using drag and drop, right? There's a header block, just basic text that comes with it before you put anything in that actual element. And then off to the left here, under the elements, right, you also have the ability to close it, right, take it off the dashboard. I'm just going to click and open that. And my title block text, I'm going to type in employee details, right? Just like my page name, it's a little bit redundant, but all we're trying to do here is get a good view of how to build these dashboards. So we'll put it there for now. From there, we've built 3 reports. So I want to add 3 reports. So I'm going to drag. Sometimes it can be a little tough to get in there, but 1, 2, and 3, right? Now, before I get going and start adding these reports or selecting these reports in these different blocks, I'm going to think about how I want the layout. So I've got a pie chart and a bar chart, and then I've got a long list of table records. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this report block 3 over a little bit, all right? And I'm going to arrange it. I'm going to drag this all the way down so it aligns with the vertical spacing that reports 1 and 2 take up. I'm actually going to drag that a little bit longer because these are going to be my pie and bar charts. Because what my plan is and the 3rd report block over here, I'm going to put my table report that we built that has my employee contact list. And then I'm going to put my pie chart, my bar chart off to the left. So since we talked about that one first, right, there's 3, let's start with that one. So over to the left here, I can select employee contact list, all right, and then boom, my table report has been pulled into this dashboard block. Now, what I also have the ability to do is override the report name. So maybe I wanted to type in basic employee contact list, all right, give it a different title. I can go ahead and do so, and that will override the title that displays on the dashboard. Now, getting my pie and my bar chart over here. So on top right now I have 2 and 1. Doesn't really matter the orientation of them. Excuse me, when it comes to the numbering here. I'm going to select the 1 first. Let's put the bar chart on the bottom. So hire date by year. There we go. It's pulled in. Awesome. That looks great. I don't want to really move that around because the bar chart is fitting nicely within there. All right, I'm able to hover over each and see the numeric values of each year. The higher year down below is in a good spot. It's not rubbing up against the edge of the borders. I want to keep it right there. Now, if I wanted to, right, once again, if we could do, oh, I got to learn how to spell hire date by year. I can override that report name and it'll show there. Now, last one, pie chart. Gonna bring in number of employees by role. And let's see. All right, pretty good. I want a little bit more spacing, however, on the number of employees down there. So I'm just going to click and drag. There we go. Open it up a little bit more. And just looking at this now, what I think I can do is I can pull that over. There we go. That gives us a little, it pulls that in, makes it a little bit tighter. Let's do the bar chart as well. Awesome, that looks great. But now the big key with that is now I can pull this over. And awesome, now I've got some more spacing. Whoop. Now I've got some more spacing to work with as far as viewing my basic employee contact list, right? So from there, I can override the pie chart name if I want to. Number of employees by job role, right? Maybe you don't have to do that every single time, but if you want to, you can. And then you can unexpand those sections off to the left. So from here, this is looking good. I'm going to go ahead and save the changes. Now, what you're going to notice is we have a default checkbox here on the dashboards. I'm going to go ahead and deselect that and save the changes real quick. If I navigate back to my dashboard, right now, I have a full, all I have is the text basic dashboard that comes with the app. If I navigate back to the dashboards and I select default and then I save changes, if I come back to that dashboard, now it's going to be that dashboard I just built. We've got my contact list, we've got my pie chart, we've got my bar chart, right? In the future, what you'll see soon in Buildable is on dashboards, we'll have default for roles. So you'll be able to select on each dashboard if you want to show it on various roles, right? Because right now, I may be an admin of this app, but I might have other non-admin users in my app. I want to have a different dashboard display for them. Pretty soon you'll be able to see that here in Buildable, the ability to add different roles to different dashboards. That way, users who are logging in are seeing different things. But right now, it's a standard singular checkbox, one defaulted dashboard, and then all those users are going to be seeing that over here on the left. So, few kind of features from here. You can expand, right? You can open those up a little bit more to see them in a large enlarged view, right? But yeah, that is a good overview here of some of the different reports you can build in Buildable, how to build them, and then also how to add them to your dashboard. Yeah, I would say that about wraps up today's office hours. Next week, you'll have Justin again walking you through some even more features of Buildable. And today we built an employee repository. You can build any kind of repository you want in here. It could be an employee, it could be a contact company, right? Those might sometimes fall more in line with your CRM. It could be a vendor, a donor repository. Anything you need to track data-wise can be built in Buildable, and you get to build fun reports and dashboards like this in your apps. So once again, thanks for building with us, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week.